Hello everyone, Blue Star Saber here, once again to do another One Piece chapter review, chapter 1078, Escape Limit. Let's see, I plan to try and do this review as soon as I can, just to review just around the time of the impact instead of waiting a week later, because boy, this chapter finally reveals the traitor. I wasn't sure I was going to do this because, well, it's Mother's Day here in the UK, and I had quite a lot of fun time spending with my mother, but yeah, enough about my own personal life. On to the actual chapter. Let's see. But before we do that, we've got the Gemma 66R Emotionless Excursion, Volume 33, The Formation of Neomads, in which Judge and Caesar has formed a new mad science group, and you can see them sort of like holding, let's see, one hand together, agreeing to a partnership, looking on like a married photo thing, as you got German 66 soldiers celebrating with let's see, Ichini and Renji, let's see, just walking away, side annoyed by the whole event. So, it's kind of funny because in many ways this looks kind of like a wedding ceremony in a sense. Well, Judge did kind of wanted a new partnership, but let's see, though Granny came to Whole Cake Island, but he got one that was probably not what he was expecting. But pretty much you have Caesar and Judge setting aside their differences to create a new version of Mads, but this time one against Vegapunk. Now, at the very least, two of its original members are there. I assume that all of Judge's siblings will be a part of this, but we'll have to wait and see, but who knows. Granted, since Queen's arrested, that seems to be, let's see, he probably won't be able to join unless he somehow gets broken out of prison. But as for like the original Stussy, the one that claimed to be Whitebeard's lover, let's see, she's busy with Marco, and of course these guys hate Vegapunk, so they might just be the only original scientists. Now, where this Neomads organization will go, because clearly Oda's going to do something with them in the main series, I do not know yet. It's very possible that the new Neomads might be recruited by the world government to replace Vegapunk, because, well, they're pretty much trying to eliminate him now. Or it's possible that they might end up allying themselves with one of the more hostile foreign emperors to the Straw Hats, either Blackbeard or possibly Buggy. But either way, it'll be kind of interesting, because then either one of those groups has like a science group. If I had to guess, it'll probably be more of the cross guilds with Crocodile and all that stuff, because Cross Guild seems to be formed up of a lot of the Straw Hats old foes and all that stuff, and Caesar was one of their antagonists. But yeah, but at this point it seems like Sanji might end up getting a reunion with his family sooner than he would probably have hoped, or well, probably not at all, to be honest, because him. But yeah, it kind of looks like a wedding here, so yeah, it's kind of funny. But just loving how annoyed Judge's children are at the thing, but they probably can't disobey. But yeah. Now, whether or not this is the last chapter in the Gemma 66 Motionless Scourge and all that stuff, the Gemma cover story, remains to be seen. But it's very possible it could be, though we'll probably find that there might just be one last cover thing. But yeah, either way, I put this on, this cover story will end soon, and we'll probably be back to just regular old covers for a while. Though it's very possible that Oda might not go on a break too long with these special kind of covers, and perhaps move on to Wano and all that stuff, because, well, because if I had to guess, there'll be quite a lot to cover in the Wano cover stories, given the fact that it was the longest arc in One Piece history. So yeah, but yeah, that's honestly what I have to say about that. But anyway, on to the actual summary. Pretty much, you have Stussy revealing to Sentomaru that Kizaru is on the way to arrive to Egghead after CP0's mission to eliminate Vegapunk and all that stuff. And let's see, she reveals that the whole government are really determined to really annihilate Vegapunk after when he realized that not only did he picked up O'Hara's research, he actually further increased it and all that. That might be actually more later down thing. Well, actually, he further up and continued it, let's see, and continued the research of O'Hara, and the fact that that's one of the reasons, and the other reasons is that Egghead has a military power more than O'Hara, so this is why they're having Admiral Kizazu along with a massive fleet. Let's see, as you consider this an even graver graver situation than the archaeologists of O'Hara knowing the truth and all that stuff. So yeah, let's see. So let's see. Stussy just tells Sentinel to calling him anything directly that happened. While let's see, since all the labs, let's see, systems are down, so any more further information will be called from there. But yeah, but after once that call has ended, Sentinel, who all the Egghead scientist research workers who are there, listened in. He tells them that since you've all heard that, you know what's going to happen, like with O'Hara. It's best to leave now, evacuate much, as you see many of the people running and all that stuff. One of the citizens seems to have like a sort of cyborg cranky head, so that's kind of cool, but yeah. As they're all trying to evacuate to the ships and all that stuff, listening to what Sentinel says. As we then cut to Building 3 FC, where Usopp and Lilith have been turned to stone, along with Frankie partially. Angry about his situation, but he can only partly move his like left arm and all that stuff and just shout a bit. Let's see, demanding that Snake undo the purification and all that stuff. Otherwise, he won't go easy on him. But unfortunately for like Frankie, she's paying no attention. Instead, paying attention to Pythagoras, who was demanding who had ordered Snake to do this. But before that can happen, Snake appears to step on him, shocking Frankie as there seems to be explosion of let's see, of like Snake probably seemingly possibly killing Pythagoras, as Frankie ended up trying to plead with her to stop, but she seems to be looking in a new direction, arguably her next target. Anyway, we cut to Building 2FA, where you have the Chopper Robin Atlas group, where they're hearing explosions and all that stuff, but yeah, realizing that everyone's fighting and all that stuff. They don't quite understand why. But Robin assures them, at least with Nami's screams, there's going to be a valiant night, if you will. Or at least there's going to be someone that will be there in a heartbeat, if you will. Okay, the valiant night, that's just me making up, but yeah. Let's see. As they realize that any team currently fighting will be locked in combat, so while they're battling out, they might as well Robin deduces that something could be happening to the original Vegapunk, so the Chopper agreeing. Atlas says, reveals that there might be one location that has been locked away, and they don't, let's see, and Vegapunk might be there, so they should check it out as she leads the way and they follow. Anyway, in Building 3F, let's see, you have Nami sort of like trying to get Ethan to hang in there, who seems to be shutting down, if you will, possibly dying, while rocking his ghost form, going now into his sort of like ghost form, saying he'll go search the Vegapunk, though just first gets concerned about Sanji being punched by a shark, but Sanji remains completely unaffected by saying that this is the power of love. And we cut back to Luffy and Zoro in Building F4 and all that stuff as they're still fighting. Let's see, the two Seraphims as the black flames won't disappear and all that stuff. Let's see. Luffy comments that, let's see, the one that looks like Hawkeye's, or, S-Hawk has disappeared. So confused where he's gone. With Rob Lucci revealing that, let's see, he's probably changed the alignment of his assassination by going after one of the more weaker ones rather than more troubled ones to try and, let's see, affect the comrades of the more stronger ones, that the younger ones are dead. Sort of psychological warfare, if you will, but yeah. Zoro decides to go after him, but Luffy, realizing that Zoro will get lost, tells Kaku, who he calls Usopp, to go follow, which not only annoys him that he has to follow Zoro, but when he realizes what Luffy calls him, he gets angry, so yeah. Anyway, Luffy tries to do another attack, the Hawk Gatling and all that stuff, to try on the S-Bear, but it has no effect, which Lucci reprints him on that, saying that they shouldn't really keep trying to fight him this way. By the way, Luffy's no longer in Gear 4, he's probably in his regular form, which might be from the last few chapters now that I think about it, but yeah. which, let's see, my guess is he's probably, he only did it for like 1 or 2 moves before going back to his base form because, well, he doesn't want to waste the Huck in the gear form, but yeah. But that's me just doing a bit of an analysis there. I should be doing the summary, sorry. But anyway, we end cut to a little bit of Bonnie crying from like, let's see, arguably probably looking more at Kuma's memories and all that stuff, but we get a bit of a narration about how the record events from before the day of the famous Egghead incident. But apparently they're saying it's course set to explain how the course of events were set 3 months ago and all that stuff, where someone did a contact to Marija, telling them that they're from Egghead and want to speak to someone, and one of the ones in charge, telling them that Dr. Vegapunk is apparently studying the Void Century. Within the events, how CP5 was first sent to investigate, we see Vegapunk, Shaka, and Lilith, who would end up pointing a gun at one of them, while Sarah and Shaka just remain calm about the whole situation, as no evidence was found, and then how that ship vanished, and then agents from like CP7 and 8 were found, but none of them ever returned. And then you get another message from like the traitor, revealing that he wants to speak to the ones in charge. Let's see, then I think this time really talk to the ones in charge, because let's see, it seems to imply that they didn't really necessarily got to speak with the 5 elders first, but yeah. But after discussion with like the 5 elders and this unknown traitor, if you will, they discovered that Vegapunk had indeed betrayed them, in fact, in researching the Void Century. So they decided it's time to call for the assassination of Vegapunk, sending Cypher Paul with Rob Lucci there. But they also anticipated that that Vegapunk would counterattack, so they chose to have one of the elders make a visit in person, which of course is the one called, we now know as Saturn. The one that has a scar across his eye and like a bushy beard. And along with being escorted by Admiral Kizaru, as well as requiring reinforcements from various naval bases. We see quite a few naval bases as well. I think the new Vice Admiral from G14, I think. Let me just check. It was G14 Marines. Let's see. Yeah, Dahl, I believe. Yeah, I think it's the. Let's see. Vice Admiral Dahl and Rear Admiral Prince Grass. Though I'm not sure if I see. Is it Prince Grass I see there? Oh, I need a closer look. Nope, not him. Let's see, but yeah, some unknown Marine with scars and glasses, but yeah. One of them, one looks like the guy with a scar and glasses. No, or some sort of like blondish hair, maybe. Well, guys, I don't really know the color scheme. This one dude with a very long beard. This one that kind of looks like a monk, I think, but yeah. But you get the gist. But yeah, but unfortunately for them, an unadded event was added into the situation with the arrival of like the Emperor's ship of Straw Hat Luffy and all that stuff. Which made such an unexpected marvel in such a important mission that it unsettled the world government and Marines. As you see, Akainu being shocked by Straw Hat being there. Picture of Luffy in Gear 5 going, ah ha 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 ha, and one of the other 5 elders, one with a big mustache, saying, not Straw Hat again. But it says, regardless of whatever the resolution of the incident in the following day, it apparently would inflict a kind of shock that the world would never saw coming, and something that would shock the world pretty much, as we've got a pound of Egghead. But then we finally cut back to where Vegapunk is being held prisoner in the lab, as we hear someone walking down the stairs with Vegapunk saying, "This is all you're doing," and all that stuff, demanding answers. And we see Shaka's still seemingly fallen, possibly dead body, as the person starts to enter the room. The glass prison cell thing where all the Vegapunk and the CP0 agent, Cypher Polar agents are. Where it's revealed that the traitor is none other than the sick Vegapunk satellite, York, as she declares to Stella how she's going to be a celestial, how she wants to go, she's going to be a celestial dragon. With him shocked by this, by saying, "Why would you want to be something like that?" Given the fact when they last visited the celestial dragons, let's see, there were like a bunch of horror when they went to their mariners that one time. They witnessed how horrible they were, but she laughs about how this is something that Shock would probably say, but well, he's now dead, and so he says that it's probably too complicated for the world to have more than have more than one Vegapunk, so she ends up declaring to Vegapunk that there only needs one Vegapunk, much to his horror, as she gives quite a very intimidating smile, if you will. Or at least this smile looks more sinister than it normally does. Well, it looks the same, but it looks drawn more sinister. Much to Vegapunk's horrified face, ending the chapter. Okay, now for my thoughts. Let's see. I'll get to the trailer in a sec, but I like how Stassi is the one that's. Let's see. I like how Stassi. We've been confirmed that Stassi knew the full. I like how Stassi's now fully confirmed. Well, granted, she probably already knew the full details. Is now fully informing Sentomaru. Okay, this is what's going on. First, CP0 was supposed to try and eliminate Dr. Vegapunk, but but they had to but of course they were then ordered to wait for like Kizaru to arrive and all that stuff. So which kind of shocks Sentomaru, but realizes that the world government really wants to kill it. And it's interesting how we learn that the reason why the world government is not doing a regular Buster Call and all that fact is because of two reasons. And I do like how the fact that one of the reasons is that the fact that Egghead is is the fact that Egghead is a much more fortified defense, and given the fact that SSG was supposed to replace the Warlords as one of the great powers with not to mention the Sephram project, partly with like something like the Sephram project. So given the fact that Vegapunk has like four, at least currently four, maybe another three Sephram. Now, granted, it doesn't seem that they're on this island at the very least, but these four Sephram, these warlords, Lunarian Sephram Pacistas, and not to mention the Mark III ones, or the sort of military might that Egghead has. You need more than just 5 Buster Calls. You're going to need about 20 times that from the sounds of things, not to mention an admiral, not just vice admirals, an actual admiral. So so it's like pretty much a force that could be we don't know how many Marines are on the machine ships, but at the very least double the amount of ships that they needed for Marineford. Now granted, I'm not sure if there's 100,000 Marines on those ships, but one might assume that it might be because given the fact that most of the ships didn't host all those thousands of Marines, but at the very least, you got double the double the sea power that you had at Marineford, but maybe not, and only a third of the admiral strength, but still. But also the fact that they've had to send 5 Elder and all that stuff, which was probably obviously there to probably deal with the Sephram, and it's also interesting that Vegapunk, it's confirmed that Vegapunk has managed to go beyond what the people of Ohara has done, which no surprising as he probably had more time to research and he was able to do it in secret for like over 20 years, for over 22 years. So I think that's pretty impressive and all that stuff. It's pretty impressive how he's managed to keep in secret. Granted, I have no idea how much research Ohara did. It might have been centuries, but he's managed to. But just shows impressive how Vegapunk has stored all of that research and has somehow managed to advance it. But it's probably also due to the fact that, and it's probably even built some of the technology from the research which they couldn't and all that stuff. But it's interesting that Jimba's also hearing this, and I do like how calm he is. But if it was like say Nami and Usopp or even Chopper, maybe even Brock, they'll be like, "Oh no, not Admiral Kizaru, we're screwed," kind of thing. But yeah, I think Luffy would just be willing to go for a rematch. I think at this point, which might be the case. But yeah. Now, yeah, but but I do like how Ritzy Sentinel just seems to like, okay, this is the threat we're dealing with. But yeah, but I do also like how she also informs them that just called directly now since their communications have been taken out. So yeah. So I do like how after this, Sentinel tells all the people that were listening in that, okay, you've heard what's going on, you know the situation, get out and all that stuff. I do like sort of some of the designs of people running, particularly like the Frankie one. There's also a few robots as well, but yeah. But yeah. Frankie had one, so yeah. Now, I have no idea. Now, given the fact apparently the CP Cyberpol destroyed all the factory ships here, I do wonder how they're going to escape. I'm not sure if there might be some future tech vehicles they might have, but I don't know. They're going to have to find something, and I assume that Oda's not going to be dark enough to. Well, granted, let's see, to kill all these researchers, scientists, and civilians in the main timeline. Then again, he did have Emu destroy an entire island, but still. But I don't think that. Let's see. But I have a feeling that a lot of are at least going to escape somehow. I don't know how, but yeah. But it'll be an interesting thing to do, and how they will escape, because, well, apparently all their ships should be destroyed except for the Straw Hats, but yeah. Anyway, as for the Frankie Pythagoras, it seems that Pythagoras might actually end up being dead, which, holy moly, I mean, if he's Rutzy, and again, Oda has had people survive a massive explosion before, but then again, he's been stepped on, unless it's like, badly bruised, but like not dead kind of thing, like barely able to function. But either way, he seems to be possibly dead and all that stuff. But yeah, but I do like how Frankie is just trying to go and end up fighting S Snake, but but I demanded that no, granted, there's not much he can do except do empty threats of release him or I might be merciful and all that stuff. But yeah, but at the moment, Usopp and Lilith are taking out. Though interesting, Lilith doesn't seem to like. I'm not sure if Lilith seems to have destroyed Lilith's statue or Usopp's. And again, they might. Let's see. Though granted, I'm not convinced that either of them are dead or they've been caught up in the explosion because, well, I don't think any of the Straw Hats are going to die, and there's no way Oda's going to kill off Usopp before meeting his dad and also like Elbaf. So yeah, so there's got to be that, but. Yeah, I do like how it's interesting that apparently S Snake doesn't seem to. Let's see, doesn't know who exactly ordered it. When it looked like a few chapters ago, it seemed to imply it, but yeah. But at the moment, but yeah, it seems like let's see, Shaka, Edison, and Pythagoras, the ones that seem to be the good and logical. Let's see, Vegapunks, satellites. All seemingly seem to be dead or dying, so we're now left with the female ones. So, yeah. I am curious to see where S Snake is going, because she seemed to be looking somewhere. Is it possible that she's going to go to the main laboratory? But who knows on that pit, but yeah. But anyway, but we do finally get confirmation that, yes, the Atlas group is no one there with them and all that stuff, and I do like how her and Robin are able to assess the situation. Let's see, though, Chopper, that seems to be just more of a listening and saying, oh, we're going to do this or that, but who knows? But it looks like, but yeah, but from the thing, they're able to deduce that who's fighting who and all that stuff. But I do like how Robin is probably, knows her crew so well at this point that she knows that with Nami screaming, Sanji's going to come and save her because, well, he's got to be her white knight, if you will. So, yeah, I do like just how well she knows her crew at this point. So, yeah. But I do like how Robin is also able to figure out, okay, with all this commotion and battles going on, this could be someone's chance to do something to the original Egghead. So they got to try and find them and all that stuff. But, yeah. But I do like how Atlas let's see. After realizing what's going on, it's probably like, there's one place that we can't go. Let's see, that we haven't searched, that's been shut off and all that stuff, and that's the old lab where they used to look at, devil fruits and all that stuff. So yeah, so it's like there's no reason to have that place open. So that might be the perfect place to hide someone. So they go there and all that stuff. And this means that this group will probably be the ones to be the first ones to arrive and meet. Let's see, the traitor, of course, York. Now, I'm not sure if that means that these three are going to fight York. Before we know, the S-Snake could end up going in that area and be York's bodyguard and all that stuff. So, yeah. Now, let's see, that'll be an interesting... Now, in many ways, that would probably be a bit more interesting fight because you would probably have, arguably, Nico Robin versus the S-Snake, or like the equivalent of the Boa Hancock Saffron. So, yeah. So, as we know, Oda does like to have female-on-female fights, and I think some people would probably get excited over the idea of a Boa Hancock-style opponent fighting Nico Robin, which I wouldn't be surprised. And it will be interesting because, let's see, there's also Chopper there, who, as far as we know, is probably, besides Luffy, going to be probably completely oblivious to, completely unaffected by the power of the Mero Mero, as I am assuming that Chopper does not find, let's see, human girls cute or women attractive and all that stuff, compared to, after all, Nami doesn't mind Chopper, let's see, coming in when she's having her baths and all that stuff. So, yeah, because he has no interest in the female body and all that stuff. Or possibly, but then again, I don't think, but then again, of course, I know that S-Snake is like, not, let's see, the same, let's see, looking at, has the same, is like a currently in the kids version of Hancock, but so Chopper wouldn't see it like that, but I don't think he would be like, oh, cute as well, like Usopp and Lilith go. Let's see, but yeah, I suppose that's always a bit of a sticky situation when you talk about the Mero really, but yeah. Since currently with S-Snake, it's to do with cuteness, not with, let's see, Boa Hancock's let's see, in love with the beauty and all that stuff. So yeah. So yeah, so you arguably, let's see, now granted, would Nico Robin be affected by Boa Hancock's skills? Who knows? At the very least, I mean, as far as we can tell, Robin's, let's see, desire for cuteness seems to be very weirdly drawn creatures and all that stuff, like Kanjuro's poorly drawn, let's see, creatures like that cat and tiger and all that, and dragons. So yeah, but who knows? Well, again, she does have a sort of mother's side, so I'm not sure if the S-Snake would affect her, but that's just me guessing. Now, granted, would Atlas be affected? Who knows? But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. By the very least, it'll be very interesting to see Atlas's reactions to let's see, York's betrayal, unless somehow she's also involved. Which because let's see, but yeah, I'll get more to that later. So yeah, but if she does, I'm pretty certain we're going to see her being really mad at the treachery. But yeah, anyway, like I said, it seems like I do like how Nami is showing concern for Edison and all that stuff, despite the fact that she found, let's see, the original Vegapunk to be much of a hindrance, and seemingly ignoring Edison's, let's see, concerns about her being, let's see, lustful for treasure and all that stuff. But yeah, it's like, let's see, but it seems like, at the very least, Edison is not in the act to completely destroy, but it seems like he's dying out and all that stuff. So yeah. So at the moment, Nami's role at this point, let's see, her role in the fight against S-Shark is done. Unfortunately, though, I do like that she at least had the character moment from the last chapter of trying to attack it and all that stuff. Really, it's like, okay, it's not necessary, it's not an ordinary trial and all that stuff. I gotta fight it. But yeah. But anyway, and I take it. Well, I'm a bit disappointed we didn't get to see Brock end up fighting. Well, really at all during this thing, though. Then again, he might have helped Zoro the fight earlier against the CP0. I need to reread that, but yeah. But I do like how, at the very least, he's going to use his ghost powers to like search for the main Vegabunk. So in some ways, he might actually end up finding let's see, York is the traitor first, and then going around informing everyone where he is and what's going on with York and all that stuff. So yeah. But honestly, this is probably one of the best let's see, but honestly, but that's one of my thoughts on the Sanji versus Shark. But this is arguably, besides the traitor reveal, probably the best part of the chapter, to be honest. People have been going like, oh, Solo and Sanji are not having so much good luck against the Zephram, but Sanji is proving to be a bit of a boss. And this is honestly, let's see, and Sanji fans have been having a very good time from what I understand here. Is like when, let's see, it seems like with Air Shark seemingly doing one of Jinbei's karate punches and it having no effect on him and all that stuff. And him calling it the power of love, which arguably is probably more to do with, might be due to, logically be more to Germa's, let's see, ability, it's Gemma's experimentation, modifications, and all that stuff in his body. Now, I forgot to mention, like, apparently with the last chapter, he had, like, the eyebrows changed back to the 6'6" of like, his siblings, when he was powered up in anger, seemingly implying that it's been activated. But, yeah, he seems to be completely unfazed by it, and that seems to have worried Shark. So, yeah, Sanji is looking like a boss, and honestly, this might be his best moment in terms of fighting capabilities post time skip and all that stuff, because Sanji hasn't had, probably I'd argue, the best track record in terms of fights, given the fact let's see, many of the opponents he ended up fighting, he didn't necessarily end up defeating them, given the Virgo, Doflamingo, and of course his father Judge. But yeah, but nevertheless, but yeah, he had some awesome moments with Queen, and now he seems to be having awesome moments with Jinbei with their karate powers, with their martial arts going against each other. Punches versus kicks, if you will, but yeah. Now, is he going to continue dominating against the Ash Shark? I don't know, but at the very least, he appears to be winning and seemingly doing much better than Zoro and Luffy, who still seem to be struggling with trying to get those flames to go out and all that stuff. Let's see, and all that stuff. Let's see, to go out as, let's see, they're having a tough time. Though, granted, they may not be fighting at full strength here. But yeah. But I do like how, but it is interesting how S Hawks has now apparently left the battlefield to go find weaker opponents to try and psychologically affect the more stronger ones. I do like how Rob Lucci ends up deducing this, because this seems to be, because this is like something that he probably would have done, and he was thinking of doing, against Luffy back in Endless Lobby. And and this is and he realizes just why Luffy was so certain of trying to keep him at bay, because he knows that he's the only one that can take down Rob Lucci out of all of his crew that was there at the time. So yeah, I'm liking how Rob Lucci's able to deduce this and all that stuff. But yeah, but I do like how Zoro's the one that decides, you know what, I'm going after it because, well, yeah, technically this is his opponent, so yeah. But Luffy, I do like how Luffy's just like, you're going to get lost, so Kaku. But I love how the fact he calls him Usopp because he mistaken him for the first time. And so did Zoro. And even some of the other Straw Hats, when they first saw Kaku, were like, you know what, you kind of look like Usopp. No, wait, no. I think even Nami, like, who knew that wasn't the case, but still had trouble with, like, when Usopp was right next to them, because, like, wow, they're so similar, but yeah. But I just love how Kaku gets annoyed about the hassle that Zoro getting lost is and all that stuff, keep an eye on him, but also getting, only after when he started going, realizes, Luffy, did you just call me Usopp? No, part of me wants him to interact with Usopp, just so people was like, oh my god, two Usopps, and like, and then we'll both like cut it out, but yeah. But I wouldn't be surprised, even with Kaku's help, Zoro gets lost, and Kaku's on like, Are you an idiot? And probably comments about how on earth did I lose to him 2 years ago. I mean, that would be funny, but yeah. No, it would be funny if Sora ends up getting lost trying to find the S-Hawk and arrives at where Stella is. I mean, that would be funny. Like, his, let's see, poor sense of direction gets into a place that probably he needs to be to find Vegapunk, but yeah. Now, Luffy, interestingly, seems to be a bit more not. Let's see, seems to be not really being completely focusing or not doing his A game today, as he's just doing repeated attacks with the hot Gatling. And interesting, it seems Rob Lucci has taken over the role of being his like straw hat companion or Trafalgar Law, if you will, of like fighting buddy. It's like let's see, your regular head-on attacks aren't gonna work. You gotta think about it, dude. I'm curious to see how Luffy will try and let's see, sort out the situation. But yeah. Now, as for the Bonnie stuff, I have no idea if she has actually, I don't know if she's actually fully seen Kuma's memories, because I don't think Oda is going to skip that, because this has been the mysteries surrounding Kuma has been one of the biggest ones yet, and I assume that she's going to, and I know that he's going to probably reveal it probably at this some point during this arc. I just don't know which. But yeah, but it seems like whatever it is seems to have devastated her. I'm not sure if she's fully seen it or only partly seen it, but we probably at the very least we're probably going to get more reveals later, but probably just not now, right now, as we're dealing with like the revelation of Traitor. So Oda, I think, is going to like do that first, then get back to Bonnie. Though I wouldn't be surprised if Bonnie has seen the memories and all that stuff and deduces that understand what her father was doing, and now maybe now at least help Vegapunk even reluctantly. But if since York is now the traitor, she might get a chance of actually taking down the Vegapunk by taking down Vegapunk's greed, if you will. But yeah. Anyway, it's interesting that we see this sort of narration. We end up learning about talking about all the events of like the Egghead incident and all that stuff that's coming. And this is the day before. Well, currently we're in the day before it. We're going back. It's revealing a story about how it was going back for 3 months, which may or not be around the time, or just maybe even before the Straw Hats with reunited and all that stuff. Because at very least, my understanding, it's at least been over a month that since they've come back. I'm not sure how long, but I assume it's at least around the time of a month or 3 months for the Straw Hats. So yeah. Well, but still probably kind of crazy to think like a couple of hundreds of chapters, like probably about over nearly 500 chapters. It's only been a couple of months, but I guess that's manga timescales for you. But yeah, you've had like the unknown caller explain how the unknown caller tried to first slowly inform them about how Vegapunk is studying the Void Century. In the first response, the world government, suspicious, don't fully quite, believe it yet. So they have CP5 investigating it and all that stuff. So it's interesting how, as time goes on, they become a bit, more, they send some people there and get no one coming back. So this has obviously built up this suspicions, and clearly, York is, since we know that York's a traitor. Clearly she probably, my guess is the reason why she kept all those CP agents, Cypherpol agents, is because they found no evidence, and because, Vegapunk is clever of hiding their details. Figured, you know what? Have them disappear and further increase the world government's suspicions that when I next talk to them, I can fully go into the details about what Vegapunk is doing, and they'll probably be more inclined to believe and all that stuff. So yeah. So yeah. I do like how it's, but I do like that sort of panel of inspection where you have Vegapunk seeming confused by at first, Shaka just remaining calm, but Lilith just like pointing a gun at one of them. It's like, why? How dare you accuse us of blah blah blah? So it's like, yeah, that is pretty funny. So yeah. So there's that. But it is interesting that after the second call, York just finally say, "Oh, I wouldn't be surprised if that was our plan all along." To reveal that, okay, here's every detail you need, and that deduces the world government that okay, yes, Vegapunk has betrayed them, so we gotta act first by sending let's see, saying that okay, we're gonna need to assassinate him, so sending CP0, particularly Rob Lucci, who was CP9's top assassin. But they probably also, but I think they also, I do like how they also deduce that, let's see, Vegapunk has the means to counterattack, let's see, with his scientific advancements and all that stuff, like the Sephirum, that it's best that one of them goes there directly, and they need to be escorted by, of course, an admiral and all that stuff. Which I've mentioned that I do like how Santamar was like Uncle Kizaru, but that's more of a mob boss kind of thing, from my understanding. Who showed great concern when he heard that news. But yeah, but it's like, but yeah, I do like how it's like, okay, we need to send one of us down there, but we need the highest protection we can, and that, of course, is an admiral and all that stuff. So yeah, and just to be on the safe side, we're not doing just we need to request marine branches and all that stuff, and the level of this like deployment and all that stuff is like this is a war scale kind of thing. So yeah, in many ways, we're entering sort of like at the very least, Egghead is becoming like the next war arc, if you will, or at least the second half of it is going to be considered a war arc. Which is kind of interesting how Oda, instead of just having an entire arc who has, let's see, for the last few arcs, let's see, Wano. Granted, you could argue, and maybe you could argue with like the second half of like, let's see, Whole Cake, the climax of Fishman Island, and the second half of Dressrosa, and all that stuff. Let's see, after the toys were revealed, those could be considered battles or wars themselves in the world. Well, I know Fisherman Island's considered that might be a bit of a civil war. So yeah. But yeah, let's see, but the incident in Egghead is being regarded as a war, so which seems to imply that this might be the great incident that the Straw Hat Grand Fleet might be a part of. If there's any time for that incident that Dressrosa narration said at the end once the fleet was formed, that this would be a great battle they'd be involved in. This would probably be it, because well, let's see, whether as but yeah. As this is apparently this battle will be given the fact that let's see because that's apparently this incident will shock the world. But it's interesting how, despite all the Marines' plans, its narration goes about how this is let's see Straw Hat's arrival was an unexpected anomaly in their plans and all that stuff, and or variable. That deeply troubles them because from past experience they just know how troublesome Luffy is with their plans and all that stuff. I do like how you both have Sakazuki, or Akainu, if you will, and one of the five elders, the one with the mustache, which I think seems to be the one that seems to react who seems to act the most angry whenever it comes to Luffy. As I think he was the one that was first annoyed with Luffy after the crocodile incident, from what we saw. But it's like, not Straw Hat again. Why? Every time he somehow comes in and spoils the trouble. But yeah, but it's like, I wouldn't be surprised. But it'll be interesting when Luffy finally goes face to face with the five elders, because Luffy, who's probably been unaware for the longest time that these are the highest, let's see, authority of the world government, and they absolutely hate his guts. So yeah, I am going to be very curious about that. That confrontation, more so than Luffy reuniting against Admiral Kizaru since Marineford. So yeah, that'll be interesting. But yeah. But yeah, but apparently we got confirmation that, let's see, the Marines are not arriving today, but tomorrow and all that stuff. So yeah, and this might be just how the Grand Fleet arrives and all that stuff. And from what we can probably guess, many people just like think like since this is going to be this might be the big incident that made them involved in the thing. It's very possible because due to the fact that well, since it's going to be a day in advance, it's very possible that Morgans, who is currently writing like the newspaper headline saying that Luffy's kidnapped Vegapunk, might just be releasing the news on the morning before the battle, and the world just like Ritzy gets the papers. Everyone's like, Straw Hat's kidnapped Vegapunk. The world, Marines are going to war with him, and all that stuff. And you probably get the world panicking, thinking like, probably talking about Straw Hat in the same manner they talked about Whitebeard before the Marine Fleet first started. Probably during, the Straw Hat Fleet will probably all get this news, realize what's going to happen and all that stuff, all try to immediately stop what they're doing and rush as soon as they can to get to Egghead Island and all that stuff, which will be interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if someone got annoyed that the Straw Hats didn't call them sooner to come back them up, but at the very least, it'll be interesting to say at the very least that they probably at the very least now that Luffy will be in trouble, so they'll come and help their big boss and all that stuff. So yeah, so we'll probably see. Now, granted, they're probably all doing their own thing, so they might eat. So either that's very possible they could arrive one at a time, but something tells me Oda wants to do a whole big army arriving at the same thing, kind of like a sort of Avengers Endgame, Avengers Assemble moment, or Rise of Skywalker. Let's see. Massive fleet moment. There's more of us Poe situation, so I wouldn't be surprised if that is the case. But yeah, but at the very least, that's my guessing how the Straw Hat Grand Fleet would probably learn about this whole thing, and this is how they're probably going to get arrived in this instant. But yeah, it all makes sense. This is the next Marineford battle, and it will be interesting because currently Egghead is, let's see, just first part of it was just let's explore the island, assassinations coming in. Oh wait, and sort of turned into a assassination turned a murder mystery of who has betrayed Vegapunk, who informed the assassins and all that stuff. And it seems like we're about to wrap up that bit with like the traitor reveal, with like the fact that York has been revealed as the traitor. But it seems that at the very least, Egghead is going to be split into two parts. One of the murder mystery, and one is going to be this great battle of an incident. And that's Oda, which some might even argue this might be technically two arcs in one, like one that's like a murder mystery on Egghead, and another's like a big battle against the Marines. But we'll have to wait and see how that's going to be labeled and all that stuff. But yeah, but it's clear to many people who thought Egghead will just be a short arc. Well, it seems to be a pretty big. It seems like it's going to be a pretty big one, or at least, well, not as well, not probably as big as one or a whole cake, but currently we are. Well, currently we are at least, from my understanding, 22 chapters in. So yeah, that is more than like a let's see average small arc, or well not a minute. Let's see. Well, there's like mini arcs. Let's see, average small arc and sort of like 40 to 50 average arc, and then of course mega arcs that One Piece has. But yeah, at the very least, I'm guessing this arc will be at least 40 or so chapters, and we'll probably get like closure by the end of probably get the closure of this arc by the end of the year. My guess is, or at least before the end of the year. But we'll just have to wait and see. It really depends on how many more chapters Oda's able to release out in the year and all that stuff. Because of like he occasionally takes breaks, but yeah. I think we've got a year-on arc here. It won't be like big as like the last ones, but yeah. But at the very least, it'll be at least a decent size. But then again, but with all the stuff that's gone on, it does feel like an arc that's longer than its actual current length. But yeah. But I guess it just goes to show how well Oda has streamlined this arc. But yeah. Anyway, we now get on to the whole revelation of the traitor and all that stuff. And I will say before that. I do like that there's like the slow walk of like all right, who are you and all that stuff, or let's see, just building suspense to like that double page spread. Let's see, but yeah, but as like she's slowly entering, even walking past Shaka, which seems to be corpse, but yeah. I do like how Vegapunk's like questioning like why are you doing this, and of course like the traitor of York. Now I will admit I did not see this coming. I thought York was cleared from the suspect, but I suppose that's in many ways pretty good for like a murder mystery like horror genre. Like in many ways this kind of reminds me of the Scream situation, but well, spoilers for the Scream movie, so perhaps maybe skip like a minute or so, but yeah. Of this video if you haven't seen the first Scream movie, where the killer was at first like the main suspect and all that stuff, but then the movie tricked you into thinking that he died for a bit when his partner in crime seemingly killed him, but only to come back later and reveal that he faked his own death to hide his identity, and then reveal himself to be one of the two main criminals of the whole, let's see, revelation. It's like, yeah, but Billy Loomis and all that stuff. So yeah. Well, granted, I could have, let's see, not you couldn't have had to listen to my spoilers, but then again, you probably guess it would probably be Billy Loomis from the description. But yeah. So yeah, I do like how let's see, York did a sense of cunning by making it seemingly that she was turned to stone. Let's see, but then again, let's see. But for those who did probably guess that it was York, it's because she should have known that S-Snake would have turned her to stone and all that stuff. So yeah, that's good for them. But yeah, well, I will admit, I thought it was Atlas because of the whole shape-shifting thing. Now, granted, I was probably maybe going on the Stellar thing, but I was, let's see, well, not at first, but I was like maybe slowly edging to it. But then, of course, last chapter killed that idea. And I was starting to get onto the idea that it might just be more like Vegapunk's brain creating a new mind of its own kind of thing, like a sort of AI going rogue, if you will, situation. As it shows like Jinbei's and Bonnie's like Vegapunk not Ritzy Jinbei's concerns, and if Bonnie's like saying you're not thinking of the consequences of your actions actually coming back to bite Vegapunk, but you could say that's actually he is because the manifestation of his greed is much more greedy than he realized and is now trying to kill him and the other Vegapunks and that stuff, and has not only been turned on her. But yeah. But in many ways, I think it also makes most sense that York would be the Vegapunk to be the traitor, because from what we see, because in many ways she's also from this point the Vegapunk that has had the least amount of appearances and the least amount of development to get to know her personality. We've seen enough of Lilith and Shaka as personalities and motives, and while Lilith is considered the evil one, she's just more of a rebel and just disobeying Shaka's thing, and does seem to seemingly care about the Vegapunks. And while certain people thought that, okay, Shaka might be the traitor because he's just thinking logically of how to get Vegapunk out, but yeah, anyways, that might have just been a bit too complicated, but yeah, but he's the most loyal and most prioritized of getting the stellar body out. That is the biggest priority, so there's that. But yeah, and the fact that enough of the Pythagoras and Edison seem that they're more logical thinkers, and they wouldn't do this, and Atlas is just more like pumping up rage kind of thing, but yeah, and seems to like get along with Luffy at the very least, but yeah. So yeah. If anyone make the traitor, it was one of the probably if it wasn't going to be one of the more developed ones, it would make sense of being the least developed one at the very least, because now you can fill in the personality, which leads me to the point of the fact that it's revealed that her motivation is she wants to become a celestial dragon. In many ways, this is probably meets her persona of greed because, well, celestial dragons are the most greedy and selfish of the people of all the individuals of the world. And we've seen just how nasty and cruel they are. So someone that is the manifestation of greed, who has a lifestyle of devouring for others, I wouldn't be surprised if one of the reasons she wants to He betrayed Vegapunk is because she doesn't want to be like the errand girl for like the chores of eating, sleeping, and toilet duties, if you will. But yeah, so yeah, I figured, yeah, makes sense. So that would make sense. That okay, you know what? I don't want to do all your chores, kind of thing. I want to be my own person. So yeah, and I like the luxury life of the celestial dragons. But yeah, but mostly the greed thing is like but that might just be a thing. But it's like I just like the celestial dragons lifestyle, and I want that. I want that. So I made a deal with the world government to betray you and get it. Now, whether or not the world government is going to do it, I do not know, but I'll get to that more in a bit later. But yeah, but I do like how interesting. Let's see, we got confirmation that Vegapunk, when he met the Celestial Dragons, or when he went to Marisha that one time, the stellar bodies were apparently also there, which apparently the Five Elders met, Vegapunk once. And before we learned the cover of the story, that was when he was still a bit younger and all that stuff, and he still had his brain attached. So that's interesting because it's like, did they end up meeting him because of because we know Saturn only met him once and all that stuff, but it makes me wonder, did that mean that the stellar bodies have been around for quite a while now? Longer than we anticipated, or because I'm assuming that they're only in like a new edition for like a few years, but they might be around older. But we might need a bit. But I wouldn't be surprised if we get a flashback showing a bit more about this meeting. But yeah, but it's interesting that when the Vegapunks saw that, all of them were disgusted by their behavior. So yeah, it goes to show just how Vegapunk does not like the cruelty of the world nobles. And it goes to show that he never really had loyalty to the world government. Like he said, he was just using them for his own research funds, but though he had no intention of really betraying them, but still. At the very least, we know he dislikes them. But we just end up just showing just how evil York is by just laughing about mocking how Vegapunk that he sounded like the stellar body, but oh, he's dead now. So yeah, and but yeah, I just like the absolute horror in Vegapunk's face, and I really like how the way Oda draws the shading of it, saying like with her talking about how there only needs to be one Vegapunk and all that stuff. So yeah, and I really like how the close up of her face with like a sort of normal smile thing is just looking so creepy and menacing and all that stuff. So yeah. Let's see. The only thing I probably might nitpick is that some of the few panel shots of like a York might be a bit on the fan service kind of side. I mean, particularly like the one where she's talking about, and you have Betsy Stella's seemingly dead body in the background. It's like you're showing me the state of Stella's body, but then you got like that little panel that looks like a bit of I don't know, it feels like a mixed message there to me. I mean, I get it because of the sort of ritzy futuristic gear Oda has for the female, for most of the female cast members on Egghead, but still, it's like kind of hard not to notice and like sort of these serious moments, but yeah. Yeah, but then again, perhaps there's something wrong with my mind and I need to get out of the gutter. But yeah. But that's just probably me, but yeah. Now, anyway, is Stella, now interesting, is York going to become a celestial dragon after this? Who knows? It's very possible that the Five Elders might, you know what? We might, but then again, CP0 was tasked with like assassinating all the Vegapunks, but then again, it could be that they didn't tell them that there was a traitor on the inside, and they were only going to reveal that once the other ones are dead, or at least wait a bit, but it could be revealed that Stella is like, you know what, don't tell your assassins that I am there and all that stuff. Just use them as decoys while I do the ritzy, dirty work and get control of the Sephims for you, and then wipe out the Vegapunks and I can meet you and all that stuff. Or it could be like, keep my identity as long as possible, just in case there might be a spy within the organization. But yeah. But it's interesting. But whether or not the elder now, I'm not sure if the five elders will give her the status, but who knows? Let's see. It could be that we don't. Let's see. We rather not. Let's see. Trust the knowledge you have inside you. So bam. But there could be benefits of keeping around, as if Vegapunk gone, and if they don't recruit mads now, they're gonna need some. They might need. They're gonna still need someone with Vegapunk's expertise to work on the Saffron. So they'll might give her the title, but they still have her work. Maybe still as the head of SSG and continue the Saffron project and all that stuff, but more under their direct supervision and all that stuff. But she still gets the title of Celestial Dragons. Which, interestingly, in regards to the shocking incident that affects the world, amongst this theory, some of thinking, oh, Vegapunk dies, oh, the Straw Hats totally defeat the Navy, and all that stuff. I'm probably guessing, something about the 4th century is revealed to the world and all that stuff, maybe the kingdom's name. My guess, I'm not sure if, I'm guessing, I'm not sure if anyone else has done, is the fact that the giant robot activates and attacks and all that stuff, and the world gets an idea of a glimpse of technology from the 4th century, but who knows? But yeah, but at the very least, the Straw Hat's big bow. The other one is that Luffy assaults and heavily damages Saturn. Now, granted, Luffy doesn't really kill his opponents, but if somehow Saturn was incapacitated somehow, that means a spot on 5 Elders is gone, and they might need someone to replace it, so they might give York, and it might reveal that the planetary names like Saturn and the others might just be more of just a title bestowed on Celestial, and they might decide, you know what, we'll make it fine, we'll make you one of the 5 Elders and all that stuff, but you have to take on the title York Saturn, if you will, but who knows? We'll have to wait and see, but yeah. Granted, but for all we know, York might be just taken down by, the Straw Hats, probably maybe Robin's group as they arrive with Atlas and all that stuff, but yeah. I am curious to see how everyone reacts to York's treachery. Sarge might be like, no, a beautiful woman stand evil! But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if, the ones that remain, arguably, if Lilith gets deep petrified, or Atlas finds out and all that stuff, they'll be angry and probably be going out for York's blood unless it's revealed they are also the traitors. No, that's more than one traitor, and at least one of them, my guess, possibly Atlas because of her shape-shifting abilities, because that was somewhat mysterious figure taking up the camera, so like an accomplice, so yeah. Well, granted, I think it's possible that Lilith, the evil one, might actually be completely innocent, but if all the female Vegapunks turn out to be truly evil and betrayed him, it's all the good ones taken out and the female ones turn evil or it's truly evil and all that stuff, and they've turned on Vegapunk and then go work for the world government, and you have your sort of SG group there. So yeah, it's interesting because then at the moment I'm just guessing York is just working by herself. And we'll probably get a brief flashback revealing what she did to all the mystery things, what she did to sabotage when she did it and when she gave the orders, and when she took out cameras and all that stuff. When did she do her actions? So yeah, and how she did it. But yeah, but at the moment she's the only traitor we know of, and probably probably is going to be the only traitor. But yeah, we'll probably have the Straw Hats maybe take him out, maybe even Bonnie so she has to take out a Vegapunk, but it's possible that she could survive and then go with the 5 Elders. But it opens up so many possibilities. But yeah, I'm just liking how we're just starting to explore her, and maybe this makes Vegapunk come to a realization that, okay, I've been too reckless with my experiments, not thinking of the long-term consequences, like Bonnie said, or the concerns that someone like Jimba points out. You know what? I need to be more careful from now on in the future, because look what happened to me. I was being reckless by separating myself individually into 6 individuals and only giving them a certain personification, that one of them greed and desire, maybe even his own secret desires and all that stuff, had to betray them As a result, maybe you've gotten the other Vegapunk satellites in danger and maybe destroyed. So yeah. Overall, I'll give this chapter a let's see, probably a 9.5 to 10, maybe 9.9. Let's see. Granted, it's about pretty much a perfect or near perfect chapter, pretty much. I mean, with let's see, Sanji's ultimate boss moment against the Jinbei. Let's see the scope. Let's see learning about why the scope of the Marines' involvement is the fact that Vegapunk has further researched and even got more stronger defense than Urahara ever did. Let's see the communication with Stella, Stussy, and Sentamaru. Robin's group deducing what's going on with that, what might happen with the actual Vegapunk with the lab. Let's see, like I said, Sanji and doing. Let's see the funny Usopp joke. So yeah. Let's see, Pythagoras possibly dead. I mean, I say possibly, and I also say that with let's see, a shocker because despite the fact that implies that you never know with older. Let's see, in the modern day of One Piece, it's like usually flashbacks he kills, so you don't know. Possibly even maybe biting the bucket, but yeah. But Rob Lucci being like the new law for Luffy in the tag team and thing. And the slow build up of the narration of like what goes up, what's like let's see how this treachery came out, how bit by bit before like the Marines and Five Elders, and the unexpected arrival of Straw Hat, building up to like the upcoming incident, and of course the traitor being York and her motives of wanting to be a celestial dragon. In many ways, that motivation, regardless of what you felt of the outcome of like who the traitor was being artificial, Etsy, Doflamingo, Saffron got a mind of its own because it's a world novel. Some Saturn somehow moving there, or let's see, Blackbeard Pirates, or even Emu somehow. It was one of the Vegapunks and probably the one that made the most sense. But it's the motivation of wanting to be, a celestial dragon, like the perfect personification of greed and desire, and just the shocked look on Vegapunk's face of what she was going to do of wiping them out. So yeah, it's a perfect chapter, and it really builds up the hype of One Piece, and we're probably getting to the climax of the first half of Egghead as the big battle. That's going to be probably a full-scale war between the Straw Hats and Marines. Arguably, possibly arguably maybe the first battle of a much bigger war. We'll just have to wait and see. But either way, for the moment, I am Blue Star Saber, signing off. For those who end up listening to what I had to say, which is a lot, I will admit, I hope you enjoyed what I had, even if you just listened to bits and pieces, or just go through all the way. I hope you enjoyed your time here listening, even if you just listen in the background. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. But for now, goodbye, everyone. And and even though it's 10 minutes after Mother's Day, I hope that everyone in the UK had a great Mother's Day and spent a wonderful time with their mums. But for now, I'm heading off.